Hello little people out there, this is TheRubyRevolution. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new series of videos I'm going to be doing on old school type games as well as games from my younger years, let's say. And what not better game to start with than one of the first games I can ever remember playing, the almighty Command and Conquer. This was released in 1995 for MS-DOS, if you know what that is, you younger viewers out there. And this was really revolutionary for the time for the real-time strategy genre. It had absolutely incredible gameplay for the time. The soundtrack is unbelievable. Even now I can remember most of the tracks from this game, as well as using live action cutscenes as well. Even such things as little things as the installer for this game was really cool. It wasn't just a like it is nowadays with several programs you just run the installer. It had a whole way of installing it with cutscenes. It had videos and all sorts. It was the 5-year-old in me was absolutely blown away by what this offered. I played this game to absolute death, and it still holds a massive fondness in my heart even today, as probably the game that made me a gamer, if for want of a better word. Command & Conquer was made by the now defunct Westwood Studios. And was a massive hit within the first year of its release, selling millions of copies as well as winning several PC Game of the Year awards. Since then it's been ported to numerous different consoles such as the N64 and PlayStation, and in 2007 this was released as a free-to-play game, so you can now download this for free and play it for yourselves free of charge. I downloaded this off cnc.net, link to that in the description below. It has several of the early Command & Conquer games on there for you to play, as well as you can also play the multiplayer as well, which is really nice. Like still to this day there's people that have this fondness for the Command & Conquer franchise. In terms of what the game's about, it's set in the early 1990s in a Cold War type scenario. There is on one side the Global Defense Initiative, and on the other side the Brotherhood of Nod, which are more of a secret terrorist organization. The gameplay revolves around resources with Tiberium, which you gather up to then get credits to build units as well as building structures as well. Over the years the universe of this has been expanded quite greatly into such other ones as Red Alert, which is another massive fondness from my heart as well. I'm going to be playing probably the GDI missions, I think, for this. I might do a complete playthrough of the game, we'll see. But the best way to show you what this game is about is to play it, so let's get started. Okay, I'm going to go for GDI, I think, for this initial playthrough.
Global Defense Initiative selected.
GDI.
Are you picking this up? Good. I know you need more deep background, but we're up against it. Nod forces have fortified this beachhead at X16Y42. Intelligence is still coming in, so we can't tell you a lot. But we found a chink in their armor. Commander Carter can sneak you and some backup forces on shore right here. You may get some artillery support from his gunboats, but this is mostly grunt work. Your mission is simple. Knock out all fortifications. Eliminate all Nod troops, and establish a beachhead by building your base. Good luck.
Good luck indeed. Oh, so much nostalgia. Okay, off we go.
New construction.
So they've got the MCV, which makes the construction yard, which is the heart of everything really. We build all your main buildings for the construction yard.
Construction
So we've got a power plant,
New construction options.
which, funny enough, provides power to other buildings and then
Reinforcements have arrived.
allows you to build stuff faster. If you have low power, then everything
Base is under attack.
builds a lot slower.
New
As
construction.
well, we'll build some miniguns. Well, these are just basic grunts, basically, minigunners.
Unit ready.
With your basic damage.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Now this, square is a Humvee.
Waiting order.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Also got to make a comment with that. The soundtrack on this, which is just so good.
Reporting, Roger. Waiting order.
Even now,
Reinforcements
it's
have arrived.
I can remember the soundtrack so well.
Ready and waiting. Got it. Yes, moving out.
Building.
Now the 5-year-old me was just blown away by this
Moving out.
when this came out.
Unit ready.
I mean, it had everything. It had tanks, it had guns, it had infantry, it had really cool soundtrack, it had really cool cutscenes and interesting building mechanics, and the story was really good as well. At the time, I didn't have anything, I didn't understand anything of how the story worked, political situations with the like Cold War type scenarios, all that sort of stuff. But the 5-year-old me really didn't care. Got this last turret on the beach.
Reporting. Moving out.
Building.
Moving out. Moving.
Unit
Affirmative.
Buggy.
ready. Building.
Waiting order. Affirmative.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Yes, yes. Ready.
Unit
Waiting.
ready.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Waiting order. Roger. Yes, sir.
Okay, let's explore the rest of the map.
Building.
Situation on the ground that is unfolding
Yes, sir.
very quickly.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Moving out. Moving out. Acknowledge.
Let's get some guys up here, which we'll take out.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Got it. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Unit ready.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative.
Okay, now just gonna save the game quick. I've got a few of the early games here. It's just I played the game a little bit just to make sure it was working okay. So we'll overwrite that.
Got it. Right away, sir. Right away, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, there we go. First mission accomplished already. So, such amazing cutscenes. It's low resolution. Now this is an MCV, like I said, which unfolds into the construction yard. And at the time, this is really good, really cool, like cutscenes and everything. You don't really see them in many types of games. But, I love it. I love it even now. There's so much. There you got the guys. Gearing off to work. There we go, first mission done. Yeah, no casualties for us, and not lost 12. With 3 buildings destroyed. And we'll type our name in here. And then off we go. Now they've got the mission map here, which for GDI is Europe, with GDI being in the gold, and when they come up, not in the red. And then from here you pick the next mission, which in this case is, which is Estonia. So let's get the mission brief.
Good job with the beachhead, Commander. It's time to bring you up to speed on Nod so you know what you're dealing with. This is Kane, the self-appointed leader of the Brotherhood of Nod. Stand by, I'll link us up.
Stand by.
Condition critical. Know why Nod had this beach bottled up? They're protecting a big Tiberium refinery that intelligence somehow missed. We need backup now. Nod troops are pouring out of their base, strangling our foothold. We gotta knock out that refinery, eliminate all Nod forces before we lose our position. I don't know how long we can hold out.
Damn. You heard the man. What are you waiting for?
Our base is under attack.
Straight in this time.
Reporting. Yes.
Building.
Okay, so this is basically the same map as the first mission. Not launched a counter-attack, which knocked out the construction yard which we built.
Moving out.
Oh, that minigun is really slow.
Unit reporting.
But because we haven't got any power plants or anything.
Reporting. You got it.
Reinforcements
Yes,
have
sir.
arrived.
You got it.
Okay, so these are engineers which you use to
Reporting.
capture enemy bases with. Then you can use their own technology against them. So if you capture, say, a nod, hand of nod, which is the equivalent to the barracks, then you can build nod type infantry units.
Affirmative. Yes,
But I'll put
moving
these in the
out.
corner, out of the way for now.
Yes, sir.
Reinforcements have arrived.
And there we go. Here's the MCV.
Yes, sir.
We'll put her there, I think,
Unit reporting. Affirmative.
to deploy.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Low power. Building.
We'll get a power plant up.
Moving out. Right away, sir. Moving out. Moving out.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unit ready.
Let's get the
Unable to
minigunners on the
comply.
go.
Building in progress. Construction complete. New construction action.
There we go.
Knowledge.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unable to comply. Building in
Spam these
progress.
minigunners.
Building. Unit ready. Building.
Right away, sir.
Unit
Now, if
ready.
menu serves me
Building.
correctly, pressing X, yes, does that.
Unit
Which
ready.
spreads the troops around.
Moving out. Moving out.
So if they're under attack by
Building.
something which does like AoE splash damage, then you can mitigate the damage a little bit. But
Unit
also got
ready.
hotkeys as well,
Yes, sir.
using the control one, which
Reporting.
in modern day games like RTS and stuff, you have these options
Ready.
and you don't really think about them. But at the time with Command and Conquer, these are
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
new and exciting things which not many games had at the time.
Moving out.
So many games have taken influence from Command and
Moving
Conquer
out. Moving
in
out.
terms of like resources and
Moving out. Knowledge.
the general like rock paper scissors type of gameplay. As the game progresses, you unlock more things. There's lots of different types for GDI and Nod. GDI are more the
Moving out.
where's this guy going? GDI are more the
You got it.
typical capitalist force, I would say. With they've got medium tanks. They have like guard towers. They have orcas, which are like helicopters, rocket launchers. Whereas Nod are more creative in the style. They have flamethrower tanks, stealth tanks,
Affirmative.
light tanks, stuff like that. So there's definitely a different play style between the
Building.
two.
Awaiting orders. Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Waiting. Acknowledge.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Knowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
So push up.
Unit
There's other guys down here.
Affirmative.
Building.
Sneaky infantry trying to come up on me.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Get this guy trying to stick with us
Building.
behind.
Got it. Not a problem. Ready and waiting. Yes, sir.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unable to comply. Building in progress.
There's a few of them
Unit
here.
ready.
Reporting. Knowledge. Moving out. Knowledge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Knowledge.
Yeah,
Knowledge.
making headway now. This is the Nod base here.
Knowledge. Knowledge. Moving out. Moving out. Yes, sir. Knowledge. Moving out.
Can't get enough of the soundtrack. It's so lovably cheesy. And I'm pretty sure as well, I'm gonna save at the same time. If you go into game controls, sound controls, you can also choose what soundtrack you want to play. So no, it's not that one. Where is it? This one. So you can also choose what music you want to play
Moving out. Not a problem.
while you're killing little pixels on the screen at the same time.
Moving out. Affirmative.
Which is another thing which not many things, not many games did. And even today, to be honest, they have like soundtracks to games and stuff, but you can't really choose what music what you want on while you're playing.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Ready and waiting.
ready.
Yes, yes, yes.
Unit lost.
Waiting order. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that there is a harvester,
You got it.
and
Affirmative. Moving out.
the way resources are gathered are through the harvester, which they gather Tiberium and bring it back to Tiberium refinery to then convert into credits.
Affirmative. Unit reporting. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Moving out.
Building.
Unit reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Moving out. Reporting.
Bring these engineers up.
Reporting. Moving out. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Got it.
Building.
Waiting order. Moving out.
Right, now there's now.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Moving out. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Let's just take out their buildings.
Building.
Is their construction yard down?
Ready.
I got my engineers exposed.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Ready affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, affirmative. Yes, sir.
There's a small group up here.
Ready and waiting. Wait, wait. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. God, not a problem. Acknowledge. Moving out. Yes. Acknowledge. Right away, sir. Reporting. Moving out.
So,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
cut these. Now these are Tiberian salaries which store Tiberian and credits. So if you capture the Tiberian silos, you then capture the credits held within them. So we've got now loads of credits to be able to use. Although this mission's pretty much over now. Pretty sure there's only harvester left. And a few infantry.
Unit reporting. Moving out. Moving out.
Save the game again.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Okay, so we are there we go, mission accomplished. I love these cutscenes. They look absolutely terrible now. By the time they were like so cool. It's like, oh my god, it's like an APC. A 5-year-old me could not get enough of this. Okay, on to mission 3 then. Not made some progress in Eastern Europe, and we'll get the coordinates for the next mission. So Latvia, and we'll get the mission.
I know I promised more deep background on Kane and Nod, but there'll be time for that later. Carter says you hit the ground fighting. Nice job.
Thank you.
Now we need that again. Somewhere in this section is a Nod base. It's protected against airstrikes by Nod SAM sites. Knock them out so Colonel Morelli can provide air support. That should make it easier for you to take out the base. I'll be out of the loop for a couple of days doing civvy time at the UN. Don't let me down.
Cheeky SAM site. And away that goes. And off we go.
Awaiting order. Moving out.
Okay, so you might have noticed as well, we've got a new infantry type here, which is a grenadier, which lobs grenades, as you might have guessed. However, they have splash damage, which means they can do as much damage to your own troops as the enemy.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Power plant refinery going. You see, look, rubber grenades, which are pretty good against light vehicles. Yeah, so this is the refinery I was on about before, which are used to harvest that Tiberium.
Construction complete. Left deploying here.
Get these out of the way.
New
Put that
construction
there.
options. Building.
We'll build a barracks first, I think, because the harvester needs somewhere to get that Tiberium.
Construction complete. New construction options.
I've also got another new building, which is the communication center, and what that gives us the minimap.
Building.
Routes and grenadiers as well.
Unit ready.
Okay, so we've got that Tiberium silo I was on about before.
Yes, sir.
As well.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. Roger. Moving out.
The mission brief said that if we destroy the SAM sites, then we get an airstrike.
Acknowledge.
So we'll try taking out those
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
SAM sites into the county.
Construction complete.
There we go. Now we've got the mini-map.
Reporting.
Unable to comply. Building in
There's
progress.
a SAM
Unable
site
to
just here.
comply. Building in progress. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Back here. There we go. Check out this SAM building.
Unit ready.
Ready and waiting. Roger.
These are taking damage. So.
Waiting. Roger. Yes. Affirmative. Yes. Yes, sir.
Building.
Eventually they'll take it out, maybe.
Yes.
There we
Unit
go.
ready.
Yes, sir.
So
Reporting. Moving out.
we'll bring these back.
Building.
Anyway, I think I'm going to end it there for today's video. I'm probably going to do a full playthrough of this, I think, to be honest. It's been so long since I've played the original Command & Conquer, and all that nostalgia is really coming back to me. So I want to get through all those 15 missions for GDI, and probably for Nod as well. Nod have some really crazy uni types and stuff, and it's really interesting, the storyline as well. Please let me know in the comments below of your memories of Command & Conquer series, and what was your first game you ever remember playing. Please like, comment, share, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you all in the next one sometime soon. Bye!